Alright, so I wanted to tint my boat windows. What did I do? I ordered a bunch of cheap window tint online. It's about 30 feet for 50 bucks. I had previously ordered 50% window tint, but I found out that I was just not, it was too light. So I went back, I returned that, ordered 20% tint. It was a little bit better for what I was looking for. The first thing you gotta do is just kind of do a rough cut of the tint to your general window frames, and then kind of line it up to one of the edges. Most windows are square, rectangular. Some of them have a little angle to them on some older boats. So just pick a line or pick an edge straight and line it up to that, and then the rest kind of start cutting off. You can see I have a little bit of overlap on the left side, which I'll trim off later. Here I trimmed off the right side the best I could. Didn't have to be perfect because you can see here is a little black frame lip that's going to hide any imperfections from the outside. Pro tip, keep sharp razor blades. I did not, and it made cutting a bit of a hassle. So now I'm doing a rough cut on the bottom edge. I wanted to make sure that there was enough to cover the window but not go too far, cause issues. Once you got the rough cut of the film, if you don't have a second pair of hands to help you out, highly recommend creating some sort of holding mechanism with tape or whatnot on the ceiling or wall, and then start removing the protective clear film, as you can see that I'm doing here, very gently. And if you don't have the tape or a single pair of hands, what can happen is that the entire roll just crumble up with itself and stick to each other, and that's ruined, or just wrap yourself up in a bunch of window tint. Make sure to get the protective film out of the way as quick as possible. The static tends to kind of make it cling to everything. Super important to have a bottle of soap and water mix to spray down everything. Window, the sticky side of the film, it's going to end up on the floor and everything, as you can see, but don't be afraid, just keep everything wet. The more wet everything is, the easier everything's going to be, and the more chances you get to adjust misalignment, and it'll just make everything easier. I ended up using the entire bottle from Home Depot, but no worries, just simple cheap dish soap and water will get you refilled and back in action in no time. I tend to work quickly at this stage, because if you don't, things will dry up, and when things are dry, then you won't have any chance to correct yourself, and the film will stick in places where it shouldn't. So once everything's wet, I found that it was a little bit helpful to just kind of act quickly and deliberately. So what I'm getting ready to do here is just take off the tape and get ready to apply the film to the window and try to line it up the best I can. As you can see, the film starts to kind of naturally stick to the window. It's rare that you get it lined up perfectly the first time, so if you need to readjust, it helps to kind of lift up the bottom edge so you can kind of get a bit more leverage and to line up the cut you made. Might take a few times, but if it doesn't seem to bend or turn, lift it up and add some more water soap mix to kind of lube things up. Once you're happy with the lineup, the next thing you want to do is just start spraying everything, the entire outside of the film, more of the spray mix, and then use a squeegee, a rubber-ended squeegee. This came from the same window tinting kit from you can get at Home Depot. And start flattening out all the bubbles, generally going from the inside of the window outwards. Try and aim for the main viewing area you want to have, and then from there just go outwards. Don't worry about the edges for now, just trying to get a solid, clean, central area of the window, flat against the glass, and push any bubbles you can see outwards. I don't think you need to press too firmly, but if the squeegee tends to stick or create friction, just keep on spraying more of the spray mix. Once you get towards the edges, like here in this case, you can see that this particular frame, I needed to put the window film behind the adjacent frame, so I had previously cut to the best length that I could, and once everything's looped up on both sides, you can kind of use the squeegee tool to slip it in and have it kind of fold into the right corner. And wherever possible, try and squeeze out as many bubbles as you can. Here's one of the Ever films for the Ever window. I'd previously done the same process you saw before, doing the initial lineup, taking out the bubbles from the central part of the window outwards, and just lined up the best I can to one of the edges. This one on the left edge, you can see there's a metal handle used to slide the window left and right. You'll see in a second here what I did to cut that little groove out. So here's some of that overlap of film, cut around the groove for the handle. Use the razor edge to cut that little flap there. Again, I recommend sharp razor blades. Mine was not that sharp. It caused some issues. And then the squeegee, the hard plastic edge helps you get the window film to the frame edge, and then you can use the razor blade to cut the edges. But if you mess up, I don't know, just shove it in there and just call it a day. I'm not really sure what the pros would do in this situation. I'm actually quite curious. The closer you can get the window film to the edge frame, I think the cleaner cut you're going to get. If you don't, you might see some light spots come through. But again, always probably best to have a super sharp blade. For the bottom edge, I had cut using just general eyesight, something between the top of the window lip, the black frame, and the bottom of the window, and just shoved it in there. Making sure it covered the window, but it wasn't too long enough to go over the edge. And then here also there was another section that you had to kind of push behind the bug cover. This one wasn't too deep, so using the plastic edge of the squeegee tool was quite helpful. Final touches here. Same process on the other side. But overall, I think the end result was pretty good. You can see here this broad daylight, sunny day in Seattle, and it's pretty good privacy. It's kind of hard to see what's going on inside. It gives you a lot of privacy, a lot of protection from the sun, UV rays. Kind of gives it a good sleek contrast against the white fiberglass boat. Uh, Here you can see on the right side, the right two windows are tinted, the left two are not. So it's kind of a big difference on the outside. Same here. Here we have fully tinted again. And here you can see from the inside what it looks like.
These two windows are untinted. This one is tinted.
So not much difference on the inside. So you still get good visibility, but good protection on the outside when you need it. Nice. Well, thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful or entertaining to some people.